Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to part 9 of my PES 2013 career as Jeffries United. Now the last match ended in a 0-0 draw. I said about how boring the match was and how I was trying to improve the match and things like that. So today's match, obviously I'm going to try and win it. I'm going to try and make the match more interesting, but I'm going to do that by putting the match in coach mode. I think was the last match? No, the last match was me playing. I think, yeah. I might do alternate between coach mode and not coach mode. I haven't decided on that yet. There's a lot of things in this series you may have noticed that I haven't decided on yet. Because I'm still new to this, the whole filmmaking thing. I've been playing PES since 2004. Yeah, so nine years now I've been playing PES. So I know PES pretty well. I'm not very good at making videos of it yet, as I'm sure you guys have noticed. So I'm trying to find the best way of making these videos so that they're entertaining without being too unrealistic. They showcase how well I play PES. Can give tips on how to make good teams. Little things like that. But for now, my team is struggling. It's I suppose at the moment it's more of a hints and tips as to how to save a struggling team, because I have 6 points from 4 games. This is the 5th game of the season. I'm looking to bounce back from that 0-0. The only one I've had was that 3-0 win from 2 episodes ago, where Delamon scored those 2 fantastic goals. I've made a couple of changes to the lineup, or the game's made a couple of changes to the lineup. New High comes back in, Ortig stays at right back, we've got the 3 Wilkinsons playing, Rawlings on the right, and the biggest change is up top, where we've got Beckhold instead of Drewson. Beckhold is a player who I might be looking to sell in January. A reason I say that is he is a good player. You see there, he gets the ball quite early, and a better touch, and he'd have been in on goal. He is a good player, not disputing that at all. He does not fit into my philosophy, however, because he is the eldest player in my squad, I believe now. Or he's definitely one of. He's in his late 20s. He's like 26, 27, maybe even 28. And as you know, I like young teams. All my team basically are 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So when the transfer window opens in January, I will be seriously considering Beckhold's position. You've already seen, I think it was McConnor at the start of the game. I think his name was McConnor. He was too old and he left. I haven't getting my facts right. There's definitely one player who I sold who was old. I'm sure it was McConnor. So yeah, over the 25s, you're going to struggle to hold down a place in my team. If you're closing in on 30, obviously as the game goes on and as we get promoted and go through the seasons, I will be looking to hold on to older players because they've got the experience, and in some cases they've got the stats that my team needs. But for now, younger team beats older team, because you have a younger team who've got a bit more bravery, a bit more ambition. They're not afraid to shoot from distance. They're young and hungry. They want to improve. This is their big break. So to be in a professional team playing professional football, they want to do that. And then, like I said, as I get further and further through the game, plus all these lot will be staying, so they'll be getting old. Signing players the same age as them, they'll also be getting old, of course. So yeah, the philosophy and balance of ages will change as the season and the career goes on. But for now, young players. I managed to basically waste half an hour of the game by saying that. So we'll join the action as Rawlings puts that cross in. Interesting cross, could have caused some danger. Maybe Beckhold could have done better trying to shake off his man there. You see Bobo there, he does like to get back and help defend, and he gets back in the strangest of ways. So there, I mean, he's meant to be playing out on the left hand side, and he's defending through the middle there. He does provide an outlet there. He does lose the ball, of course, which not so good. But Grantham at left back, or McGregor at left back, or Jones, I believe, is the third left back. they very rarely get isolated when Bobo's playing ahead of them, because he very nearly always tracks back and helps defend, which is fantastic. You get the similar thing on the other side, where in that case it's more Alptig is quite an offensive fullback, Rawlings is quite a defensive winger, so they sort of meet in the middle. Whereas Bobo, I'd like to think of him as an attacking winger, but he does also have this defensive tenacity about him, which is good. And Grantham just seems to hold the line quite well. Having said about how good Bobo is defence-wise, it is a bit of a silly foul to commit there, actually. There's no real pressure. The guy wasn't going to shoot. You can see Delamond was waiting there to tackle him anyway. So we've given away a free kick in a bit of a stupid area, and the guy steps up, straight over the wall into the top corner. An impressive free kick, admittedly, to get it up and over the wall from that distance. Takes a lot of skill to be able to do that. However, the whole fact that the free kick shouldn't have been given away in the first place by Bobo, I'm disappointed with that. Especially so close to half time as well, because it lowers the players' morale going into the second half. Bobo does try and stop it. Again, that highlights how good of a free kick that was, in the fact that Bobo basically jumped to his full height, and yet it still went over his head and managed to dip under the bar. So, taking nothing away from the goal scorer's efforts there, it was a fantastic free kick. Just poor that it was given away, and so close to half time as well. So we go in at the break 1-0 down. Not happy with that. Like I said, we should have done better than that. They've had one shot on target in the whole of the first half, and that was the goal. We haven't even had a shot on target yet, which is very, very, very disappointing. We definitely need to improve that in the second half. Questions will be asked at half time. If you look at the possession stat there as well, 44% to 56%, we were miles behind in terms of keeping hold of the ball. The only thing we were winning at was tackles won, but again, that just shows that they've had the ball longer than us, which is not good at all. That's not the Jeffreys United way. We tend to prefer to attack from the front, but we haven't been getting that so far. One thing I've noticed in coach mode, you've got players like Bobo who've got a bit of skill about them. They tend to faff around with the ball a little bit more than you'd expect. So they win the ball in good positions, or they get given the ball in good positions, and they try and do stupid step-overs to work their way through, and it nearly always ends up with the ball being given away, which is poor, really. A player of their ability, they could just do one step over and then accelerate away. Bobo's not the slowest player out on the pitch. He can easily get some runs away. You see there's faffing around. Bobo was open on that left-hand side, but he decided not to pass it to him and ends up losing the ball because of it. That was just a poor pass. Again, Bobo was through. The ball didn't need to be that heavy. Bobo would have reached it. You may have noticed in this video, folks, that in the last few videos I've said about not commentating on the match as much for one reason or another. Talk about other things instead, but in this game I'm trying to focus a little more on commentating on the match. I'm trying to bring a bit of variety into my videos. In matches like this, there's a bit of action going on, there is stuff to talk about. In the previous match, 0-0 draw, there's very little to talk about, so I ended up spending most of my time talking about future video plans. Whereas this game, I'm happy to talk about the game, because there is things going on, even if it's criticism of my own team. You see there, Bobo, I think he won that header, but there was no one supporting him really, so not too disheartened by the fact he gave the ball away there. That's a good pass to Beckhold. Good first touch from Beckhold to get away from his man. Gets right in front of the keeper, and then, that's a really good finish. Just flick it over him, the outside of the left foot. See, he's very happy with that goal. And, I admit, I say about Beckhold, about he could possibly be sold. Basically what's happening is, in my mind, he's on a trial period at the moment. So, come January, we'll take a look at his stats, we'll take a look at his goal scoring record, and we'll decide whether to keep hold of him or not. Ideally, he's a good striker. He does play out wide a lot, which to me asks the question, why doesn't he play on the wing and then Bobo play through the middle? I don't know why the game decides to have Bobo on the left and Beckhold through the middle, but that's just the way it goes. He does seem like a good player though, and in some ways it's a shame that he is as old as he is, because if he was a young player, it'd be fantastic to have a player of his ability in the team. But because he's reaching the peak of his career and it'll all be downhill from here onwards, you do ask yourself, is it better to get a young player of the same ability, because there's a chance that they will end up improving, whereas Beckhold's stats will just be on the slide from here till the end of his career. It might even be the case of, I've got some good strikers, but if they do find themselves injured, we could end up needing Beckhold anyway, in which case we'll have him to the end of the season, and he might even be staying beyond that. We will need him at the moment though, because we are 2-1 down. Zenakan? Yeah, Zenakan with the goal. That was just poor defending, really, from my team. No real uplight there, just gave him too much space. That was too much space there. The way he managed to turn and get the ball through. Defence fell asleep, they weren't watching the run in behind. And the keeper probably could have done better than that. He seemed to just collapse on the floor and let that shot come in, which is disappointing, really, because you've just got yourself back into the game, and a couple of minutes later you're behind again. But we have got time to turn this around. You see we bring on Wiemet for Wilkinson, and we got another striker on the pitch now. So I believe we have like a 4-4-2 kind of formation going on. You see Bobo there, he takes up a good position. The ball in, it's good. It's not brilliant. We needed someone attacking it from that back post. Beckhold manages to chase it down though and win it. And again, that's a good ball in. It's just a little too weighted for Bobo. And if you manage to hit it, if you manage to hit it back across goal, there was a chance that I think that was Wiemet. He was open in the middle. He could have had a shot on goal. But then, hindsight is a powerful thing. You don't necessarily see all those things at the time. You see at the top there, we substituted another Wilkinson, L. Wilkinson this time, for Stiller. Stiller for me is a bit of a mystery player. I don't know that much about him. I haven't seen him play that often. I know that when he does play, he tends to play all across the midfield. He seems to be just as good on the left or the right, and he can play through the middle. He seems to have been put out on the right for this match. That was a good ball in. Bobo could have made the most of that, but it was too late in the day. So we end up losing the match 2-1 when really we could have won it on another day with a better style of play. I kind of blame Coach Bo for that one. Like I said, little things about little passes through, and the stupid thing about step overs when they could just run round them. If I was playing there, I wouldn't be doing step overs. I might do a couple of pirouettes or things like that, but then I'd just run round them. They've got pacey players, might as well use the pace. So yeah, disappointing. Really disappointing. Now, I'm thinking about the next video, guys. We've got a few seconds left in this video. You can see it's Man United away in the Cup. I think it's away. So I'm debating whether to bring commentary or whether to just leave the game as it is, put the sound back on, just let you guys watch the match. I think I'll end up doing commentary though. But yeah, as you can see, this video has ended now. So until next time, guys, I will see you soon.